CIA cryptographer Charlie Heller is working on restoring an old Cessna, a present from his wife, Sarah. The classic gift that keeps on giving, right? He's so focused on getting it ready that he doesn't notice Sarah sneak up behind him. She drops the bomb. She's heading off for a business trip in London. She invites Charlie to come with her, but of course he turns her down. Sorry, hun, too much work, too little time. It's the classic work over wife dilemma. No judgment, Charlie. Later, Charlie arrives at the CIA headquarters. We're talking top secret, security everywhere. Decryption and analysis kind of headquarters. As Charlie walks through the building, he passes all the security scanners that, wait for it, he invented. Because why not make life harder for everyone else, right? Meanwhile, at the CIA's Decryption and Analysis Division, Charlie has become good friends with Jackson O'Brien, a no-nonsense field agent with the amusing code name, The Bear. Charlie's also been getting intel from an anonymous source, codenamed Inquiline, who seems to know more than he lets on. Charlie's feeling like a genius trying to crack the code, but despite his best efforts, he hits a brick wall. Maybe it's Istanbul, he jokes, trying to guess where Inquiline is hiding out. Nah, Inquiline replies, brushing him off. Tough crowd, right? After a quick lunch break, where Charlie probably consumes more caffeine than is humanly possible, he heads back to the office. He gets a call from Sarah. She's already in London. You must really be busy, huh? Sarah laughs. You didn't even come with me. But Charlie's mind is already back on the mysterious files. Priorities, right? Desperate to crack the code, Charlie sneaks into the restricted area because who needs rules when you're on a mission? And finally uncovers the shocking truth. These are government files showing a drone strike disguised as a suicide bombing. The result, 150 casualties, including French Special Forces and Danish Marines. Alex Moore, Charlie's boss and director of the CIA's Special Activities Center, has been covering up politically motivated drone strikes, passing them off as suicide bombings to manipulate global perceptions. Yeah, that's a whole other level of messed up. That night, Charlie tries calling Sarah again, but gets no answer. He leaves her a voicemail. But we know how this goes. It's never just a voicemail in a thriller, right? Before Charlie can even process this, he's summoned to CIA Director Samantha O'Brien, who delivers crushing news. Sarah's dead, she says. Terrorist attack in London. Charlie's world shatters. At home, things aren't much better. Dozens of reporters are camped outside his house, trying to get an interview, while the police are just doing their best to keep them at bay. A friend helps Charlie sneak into the house, avoiding the media circus. The next day, Charlie's got questions. He confronts Moore and Caleb, the supervisor, about the events surrounding Sarah's death. There's no way those terrorists could have gotten past all the security cameras, Charlie insists. Moore promises they're investigating, but Caleb basically tells him to go home. Suspicious much? The following day, Charlie picks up Sarah's body at the airport and opens her suitcase. He finds a gift she bought him. Cue the emotional breakdown. But wait, Charlie's not the kind of guy who stays down for long. Back to work he goes, using the CIA's restricted computer to hack into the hotel's security footage. He works out the timeline, how the terrorists stole a car, infiltrated the hotel, and killed Sarah in the process. As he grapples with grief, he presents his findings. Sarah's death wasn't a random act of violence. After an arms deal gone wrong, 4 ruthless assailants took Sarah and others hostage, eventually killing her in cold blood. The suspects? Mishka Blažić, a ruthless Belarusian criminal. Elish, a South African ex-Special Forces operative. Gretchen Frank, a former Armenian intelligence officer. And Horst Schiller, the mastermind, and, as Charlie's soon to learn, Sarah's killer. Despite Charlie's revelations, Moore and his deputy, Caleb Horowitz, assure him they're already working to take down Schiller's entire network. But when he looks at Moore and Caleb's lack of reaction, something clicks. They already knew all of this. The truth hurts. Furious, he confronts Moore with the damning orders that led to the deaths of hundreds of civilians and allied forces. I don't think you want the world to know what you've done. My Charlie threatens. Give me the resources to finish this, and I'll bring those bastards down myself. The CIA boss reluctantly agrees, and Charlie is sent to Camp Peary, aka the farm, for some hardcore training. Now, Charlie's not exactly a natural when it comes to killing, not by a long shot. At Camp Peary, Colonel Robert Henderson sees that Charlie's more at home with making bombs than firing guns. You're good with explosives, Henderson says, but you can't shoot straight. You're not cut out for this. Ouch. Charlie tries to keep a low profile, but Moore and Caleb are already on his tail. They search his home and office, and after finding a CD Charlie stashed in a jukebox, they realize he's bluffing. Still, the clock's ticking. And Henderson gets orders to eliminate Charlie, but by now, our guy has already slipped out of the country. Charlie's first stop, Paris, where he tracks down Gretchen, using his lockpicking skills, thanks to an online tutorial. No, seriously, he breaks into her apartment. But when it comes time to pull the trigger, he hesitates. Sarah wouldn't have wanted this, he whispers to himself. So he takes a different route, trapping Gretchen in a hyperbaric chamber at an allergy clinic, slowly filling it with pollen. "Tell me where Schiller is, and you'll walk out of here," he demands. When she can't answer due to her allergies, poor Gretchen, he opens the chamber. But before she can say anything, they get into a full-on fight. Gretchen makes a run for it, and just as Charlie's about to shoot, a van hits her on the street. The irony isn't lost on him. Charlie grabs her phone and flees to Marseille. Where Henderson corners him in a bar, but Charlie, being the crafty guy that he is, blows up the bathroom, don't ask how, escapes and reaches out to Inquilinin, who turns out to be Davies, the Russian widow of a murdered ex-KGB officer. "You should have left me alone, Charlie," she says with a knowing smile. But here we are. Together, they track Mishka Blažić to a luxury hotel in Madrid. In Madrid, Charlie confronts Blažić, who's casually swimming in the hotel's rooftop pool. "You're a real piece of work," Charlie mutters under his breath. Using his improvised scuba gear, because why not, Charlie sets up a trap and shatters the pool's glass, sending Blažić plummeting to his watery grave. It's a little over the top, but hey, what's a guy supposed to do when he's out for revenge? Charlie barely escapes from Henderson, who's engaged in a bloody fight with Samantha's operative. Henderson kills the operative, but Charlie's out of there. And just when you think things can't get crazier, Caleb catches wind of Charlie's network and tracks down Davies. Before he knows it, a Russian FSB strike team is on their tail in Istanbul, and Davies is killed in the chaos. Rest in peace, Russian lady. Next, Charlie heads to Romania under the guise of selling missiles to Elish. After a tense standoff, Charlie rigs an explosive, forces Elish to reveal Schiller's location on the Baltic Sea, and leaves him to die in the explosion. Boom. But before Charlie can reach Schiller's operation, he's confronted by the bear. "You're not getting away this time, Charlie," Jackson warns. But Charlie's vendetta is far from over. In Primorsk, Charlie finally captures Schiller's attention and is taken aboard Schiller's ship. It's here, face to face with Sarah's killer, that Charlie has a chance to take his revenge. Schiller offers him a loaded gun. "It's your move, Heller," he taunts. But instead of pulling the trigger, Charlie reveals that he's hacked the ship's controls and steered it straight to the Gulf of Finland. Finnish police and Interpol swoop in, arresting Schiller. Turns out Charlie had been a step ahead the whole time. In the aftermath, Moore and Caleb are arrested for their unsanctioned operations, and director Samantha O'Brien announces that the CIA has purged the bad apples from within. But the final punch comes when a recovered Henderson pays Charlie a visit. The two have a brief exchange. "Thought you were dead." "Charlie," Henderson chuckles. Charlie, clearly done with all the bloodshed, finishes restoring his plane, and with a sigh of relief takes it for a test flight. "Guess I'll get some peace now," he mutters as he soars into the sky. Finally ready to leave the past behind, Charlie's journey is driven by the discovery of betrayal, not just by his government, but by the people he trusted most. This theme explores how power and corruption within institutions can twist individuals into moral compromises. And that's the wild ride of The Amateur, 2025. Revenge, betrayal, and a whole lot of explosions, but in the end, it's Charlie who gets the last laugh, or at least the last flight. The Amateur is a thrilling, high-stakes action film about a man caught between his quest for justice and his struggle with personal loss. It examines the human cost of living in a world where betrayal, espionage, and deception are commonplace. Charlie Heller's transformation from a mild-mannered cryptographer to a relentless avenger is both heartbreaking and compelling, showing how far someone will go when pushed to their limits. It's a film that doesn't just ask, "What is justice?" but challenges the audience to consider the consequences of seeking it at all costs.